Right, today we're talking with Chester Powell. So Chester's been a long time club member, and he's also now a life member.
Yeah, apparently.
Of the club. Yeah. So, hello, Chester.
Hello, Andrew.
Started off. I remember going on a ride one time out to Rocky Gully, and that was where you started.
That's where I started. My father was a war service land settlement. Got a block of land allocated. I was born in actually Perth, but Mum and Dad were living in a tent at Rocky Gully like everybody else. It was all sort of bush country.
Yep.
And I think I spent 6 months in the tent thereabouts while the houses were being built on the farms. I still get into trouble with Trudy here because I leave the doors open. But that's another story.
Yes, my father used to say that. Were you born in a tent?
Yes, that's right.
And you were.
Yes, basically, yeah. But of course, I can't remember. 6 months old. But grew up in Rocky Gully.
Rocky Gully. And where'd you go to school? You went to school there?
Yes, I went there for all my primary school years, 7 to year 7. And after year 7, there was no high school there, of course. It was a really thriving school actually at the time. There was five when you went there. I had to go to high school in Mount Barker, so I boarded there with some people in Mount Barker at the Prongrupps.
Yep. And
I did a year and a half basically in Mount Barker. And in that period of time, Dad had sold the farm. Things were pretty tough. They moved to Albany, so during the second year of high school, part way through, I moved to Albany, went to Albany Senior High School. Mm-hmm. Finished school there after third year high school.
Yep.
I was done with that sort of education.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Denmark Ag School for the next 2 years. That suited me fine because outdoors.
Yep.
So that was basically my education.
I know. Back into agriculture.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And from there, what happened?
I went on work experience while I was at ag school, as we all did, to a farmer at Woodjanella, and Mr. Adams at the time. He must have saw something in me and virtually offered me a job. I think it was only sort of 2 or 3 weeks before graduation. Rang up the Denmark Ag School,
yep.
Had a chat with me, and so that's where I started. He had quite a big farm and developing new country out east. They had sheep, a lot of sheep, about 20,000 at the time.
Yeah.
Had horses.
Yep.
That's how we used to muster. But probably at that stage, that's probably when I got into motorbikes. If we're going to talk about motorbikes later, because the horses, were great, but a bit too slow. You had to sort of catch them and put them away and all that sort of stuff.
Need a bit of extra daily maintenance.
Yeah, and if you didn't hang on to the reins, the horse would bolt and you'd have to walk home. So they got into motorbikes and started with postie bikes and then Kawasaki's.
Yep.
Sort of around the 100 cc's.
Mm-hmm.
So we were flogging these things around the paddock, and they were very efficient at mustering and that type of thing.
Yep.
And so that was my basically introduction to motorbikes, I guess.
Yep. The ag bike. Yeah, that was my first bike too. It was a Suzuki TC100.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great bike.
Yeah, with a twin. I had dual range gearbox.
Yep. Yep. Now, they were great bikes, and mainly trail bikes, of course, because you're going over bloody stumps and all sorts of stuff. And we come a few gutses, but survived. Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so you worked there, and then what happened?
Worked there for probably a year and a half, I guess. It was all pretty hard work, but I wanted to get further educated. I did a Cert 1 and 2 wool classing at Denmark Ag School.
Yep.
And I thought, maybe I want to go wool classing.
Mm-hmm.
So I left the farm there, and I joined a shearing team, a pretty prominent shearing team. They had a lot of runs in the northwest, and I spent the next, I think it was 4 months, 5 months, something like that, in the northwest. You had to do so many times to get your Cert 3.
Yep.
You had to do so many times as a rouseabout to learn all the skills, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then sit for an exam at Fremantle, which I did after that time, and got my wool classing. But I did end up shearing in the end up there for the last month because a lot of shearers had left, and so I picked up the handpiece because I could shear a few. And so that was a pretty good skill to have, it served me well in the last few years.
Yeah, easy to get a job.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so about where were you? Up in the Kimberley or the
Pilbara.
Pilbara, mate.
Yeah. This particular shearing team did travel further up into the Kimberley in previous years.
Okay.
But we were just in the Pilbara, and some of the records for the sheep, I was probably diversing a little bit, but big numbers, the old tally books, but obviously that eating the country out, and the numbers just weren't there.
Yeah,
and as we know today, it's there's no sheep up there now.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the shearing teams, it was on the end of a run to have their day. Yeah.
Okay. Would have seen some interesting country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then what did you do? What did you do after that?
I came. Mrs. Adams always wanted me back. And I did go back and work there for another year and a half, I think it was. I was about 19 and I won the lottery. About that age.
Your number dropped?
Yeah, my number dropped. Came out of the barrel for national service, yes, conscripted.
Yeah.
So had to go.
Yep.
Yep. And I did 4 months, the basic training. I was actually very fortunate, really. I was in the very last intake at the time. So, and Vietnam was on the nose, of course, at that time. And, whilst I was over in training, Labor government got in, Gough got in, and he got on a platform to say that there'd be no more conscription.
Yep.
And at that time, we all had our jobs offered back. So we had some decisions to make, whether we'd go back as a volunteer or opt out.
Yep.
Mr. Adams didn't want to be back, and he'd expanded more more looking towards managing.
Yeah.
So I opted out.
Right.
Yep. And so I was very lucky.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Not carrying those scars, at least.
No, my life could have been very much different.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Okay. So you came back here.
Yep, I came back and worked at Woodjanallop, it was, the farm, the main farm, and Adams has had some country out east at the other end of the Stirlings.
Yep.
So, yes, I worked there for, developing new country and cropping and all sorts of stuff for another probably 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. And there was a little bit of something happened and a bit of friction and family things.
Yeah.
I decided that I need to move on.
Yep.
And I'd only just met Trudy, I think 6 months at that time. And I had him a notice in, and my boss wasn't very happy. But I needed to move on.
Yep, sure.
And I wanted to have a look around. Anyway, Trudy said to me when I told her that I'd had him a notice in, she said, "Oh, that's a bit dramatic, and what are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, I've decided I'm going around Australia. Do you want to come?" And her response was, "Yeah, well, that's great. When are we leaving?" So basically that was it. We got engaged and, we bought an old caravan, bought a motorbike. That's when I bought my first motorbike, actually. And if we want to talk about motorbikes, this was my first motorbike, and that was a XL, Honda XL 76 model, I think it was. And that was to go on the back, the caravan.
Yeah.
And it was a working holiday.
Yeah.
And Trudy's a pharmacist. She used to go and manage pharmacies, and I'd jump on the bike and I'd do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Motor transport.
Good solid motorbike.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great motorbike. You handle any sort of conditions.
Yeah.
And it was light enough to put on the back of the caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you spent how long were you away for?
We were away for probably a couple of years. We travelled around quite a bit. Worked around over east, and then anyway, Trudy got offered a job in Cooperpedy, which is up north of between Alice Springs and Adelaide, basically.
Yep.
And she got offered a job there, and I said, well, what do they do there? And they said they dig for opals, and I didn't know what opals were. Mm-hmm. She took the job, and we went up there, and I saw an opportunity there, actually, because I was looking for something, I guess, and it was booming at the time. So I asked a couple of friends I'd met, got to know, if I came back, would they be prepared to, work with me? And they sort of said, yeah, just on a handshake.
Yep.
Trudy and I carried on. We went down to Sydney, got married, and we drove the car and caravan back to Albany, dropped it off. I think we rented it out, got an old trailer, and headed back over west. And incidentally, while we were working around Australia, we actually earned more money on the road than when we had a permanent job, so we were doing okay.
Yep.
Trudy had this job lined up for a couple of years, and I thought, well, if I can find some opal, it's all bonus. And fortunately, we got lucky and found a few dollars, and we actually ended up building a house underground there.
Right.
When Trudy got pregnant, and she worked until the time, and we stayed there for I think it's close to 3 years.
Oh, no.
But then when the mine ran out, we decided that, I think it was time to move.
Sure.
And by this time, we'd had our firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
And my old boss, Mr. Adams, he always wanted me back, expanded again. And I said I didn't want to come back and just work for him for wages. I needed something for myself.
Yep.
So he sowed a seed with a neighbour, an old fella out there, and long and short of it was, I came back, worked for the Adamses full time, and leased the farm next door. Yep. Probably leased it for 20 years. Yeah.
Oh no.
Mm. And that's when I got my second motorbike, because in this meantime I'd sold the other one because it was tired.
Yep.
And I got an XL, Honda XL. Not as good as the 175, I didn't think.
Yeah.
But still a good bike. So that was that one was unlicensed. The XL 175 was licensed, but which ended up being a mustering bike. But yeah.
Okay. And so you're leasing this farm and you're working at Adams's. So you would have been a busy man. Busy.
Yeah, very busy. We worked that farm for 20 years, and just as far as motorbike goes, all our mustering was done on motorbikes with the Adamses and myself. We got into a ship in our own right as well.
Yeah.
The motorbikes were quite a workhorse.
Yeah, sure.
Most days you were on the motorbike.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't mustering, you were, going here, there. Then, as the years rolled on, I came to Albany when Trudy was working in Albany. She was working Mount Barker, Albany, pharmacy, doing locum work. I come down and on a Saturday, if she was, and I'd look around and I'd go and visit a couple of people, and a friend of mine, we're in our 50s by this stage, he said, come and have a look at this, and he had a Harley there, and he said, why don't you come for a ride with me? You got a motorbike licence, have you? I said, well, I have. I said, that's a big bike. He said, you got a big motorbike licence? I said, well, I did. I got my motorbike licence, actually, big motorbike licence on my brother's Honda 754.
Oh.
And they were an iconic bike.
Yeah, first of the Jap superbikes.
Absolutely. So, but only never rode a big bike really. Just got my licence on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we made an arrangement, and I rode his Harley, and he rode his son's bike to Denmark, and I thought, oh, this is all right. And in this period of time, we'd actually secured this property where we are here now, you know, after 20 years.
Yep.
We still had the farm, and this particular friend of mine went away for 3 years, working up north, and he said, "Oh, you want to look after my bike?" I said, "Oh, yeah." So I had his Harley, and I was using it for, you know, Trudy was mainly down here all the time,
Yep.
and I was coming down on Wednesdays and the weekends, and I decided that you know, I really was knocking up a few Ks on this bike, and I really did need to get my own bike.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying a poor man's Harley, because I never had any dough, and yeah, that was a Virago, Yamaha Virago 1100.
Yep.
Good honest bike.
Yeah.
And,
twin.
yeah, and that's in that period of time. I think it was 2003 that I joined the club. A friend, Harley Trent, said, "Come along," and I did. Went along and yeah, was signed up as a member and still a member.
Haven't looked back.
Yeah.
That's good. So you had the Virago, and then what happened after that?
The Virago, yeah, well, while we're you know, on one of the rides, with the club rides one day, one of the club members in conversation said that him and his wife and another couple were going to Tasmania in the following March. This is, you know, just before Christmas. Anyway, and I said, "Oh, that'd be great." And he said, "Well, why don't you come?" And I thought, "Oh, okay." So I told Trudy when I got home, and you know, she rarely ever came with me on the back of the Virago, and she said, "Oh, that'd be good." She said, "But you'd have to upgrade." And I said, "Oh, really?" She said, "Oh, I wouldn't be able to stay on the back of that Virago all the way over there and back." And I thought she'd just say, "Well, you can go," and I would have gone on the Virago, no trouble. And anyway, the long and short of that was we looked for another motorbike that she'd be comfortable on as well.
Yep.
And I had my size set on a 1300 Honda,
Yep.
Value for money. But I found it a little bit high, and when I put Trudy on the back on a demonstration model in Perth, she felt uncomfortable.
Yep.
And she said, "What about this Goldwing over here?" And it wasn't on my radar because I know how heavy they are, 400 kilos. And, you know, I couldn't get my head around riding 400 kilos down the road.
Yep.
It was actually a bit of a mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she said, "Well, you know, I think you ought to go for a ride on it." And I fought a bit because I was a bit intimidated by the size of this bike.
Yep.
And also the price, you know, it was twice as much as the 1300. Anyway, she liked the rocking chair on the back. Anyway, we took her for a ride on both bikes and back on the Goldwing, and she said, you know, she said, "If you buy the 1300, she said, I'll probably only go halfway with it. If you buy this one, she said, I'll be very comfortable." So that's the end of that story because I couldn't write the cheque out. It was too much. So she did it, and it was the best thing we ever did.
There you go. She's a treasure.
Absolutely.
No, very good. And you had that bike for quite a while.
17 years.
17 years.
17 years we did that. You know, we went several times across, you know, Nullarbor. We did the Tasmania, the first big trip, but we've done several trips across Alpine and various other places, and then we even took the big trip right around Australia. So yeah, it's been a great bike, and yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had to sell it.
I had to sell it, yeah, Andrew. Yeah, I had a medical condition, and it wasn't safe for me to, you know, and it was getting a bit big. You know, age was catching me up with me as well, and
Sure.
It was advised that I probably shouldn't ride it because it would be the end of me.
Mm-hmm.
So reluctantly, I did sell it, and I was. Didn't ride for quite a while, but I knew I couldn't get back on two wheels.
Yeah.
It was just too dangerous because, you know, it would be detrimental. So a lot of club members said, "Come on, when are you coming back in?" I said, "Well, you know, I can't, like, you know." And they said, "Well, what about a sidecar?" And, you know, there's lots of suggestions coming forward. And,
Well, there always is a lot of suggestions from the club
absolutely,
members.
absolutely. And members were willing to lend me their sidecars, and one member said, "Look, why don't you come and have a ride in my Spider?"
Yep.
Which I did, Keith Offer, and another couple of members came with me, and we went out to the Prongrups, and I thought, well, if I'm going to get on a bike, this is probably the only chance I'm going to get.
Yep.
So I call it my glorified gopher.
High speed gopher.
Yeah, so I ended up, a little, month or two later, one came up, and I secured it, and so it gives me a chance to get a bit of air in my face. Yeah,
Oh, that's good. Because you went on the big tractor ride on that, didn't you?
Yeah, went to Carnamah. Yeah, that was great. It was my last. That was the last trip we did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that was great. I did find it a little bit hard. Not as good as a Goldwing as far as long hauling goes.
Yeah.
But still, it was good. I'm getting used to it. The more I ride it, not that I ride it a lot, but I am a bit more relaxed on it now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's good. So, the club. What do you like about the club?
Look, the club's great. It's probably one of the best things I did when I came down and got somebody made the invitation to come along. I just find it's the camaraderie. Some of the members you don't see for 6 months, 12 months sometimes. And you're not too sure whether they're still with us. We don't get into politics or anything like that. We just it's good camaraderie, and it's just a great club.
Yeah.
And all their rides that they do, they organise. There's plenty of rides to go on, short ride, long rides. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. And you and Trudy have been stalwarts of the club for quite some time.
Well, I think I joined the club, I think it must have been in about 2004, I'd reckon, 3 or 4. About 2004, I reckon. We both got involved in the club, been on the committees and stuff, and it's been rewarding.
That's good. And your input has been valued by club members.
Well, we don't go seeking it. We just do what we do. We've been involved in a few organisations when we were in Mount Barker, and even in Coober Pedy we're involved in different community things.
Yep.
But this one's great.
Some clubs are a bit interesting.
Yeah. And one of my friends was the treasurer there, in the early stages there, and passed on, and I was sort of assistant treasurer, and I took that job on. Probably I did that for about 13, 14 years.
That's right. It's almost a life sentence.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I guess your favourite bike would have to be a Goldwing.
Absolutely. Yep, Goldwing's probably the best one we've ridden, without a doubt. Yeah, without long hauling. You can ride a Goldwing, for 10 hours, or like I said, between here and Perth. If I had to go to Perth, I'd rather take the Goldwing than the car. Actually, if I had to go on my own.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of trips like that, Anzac days and a few things.
Sure.
Birthday parties or something, and I could jump on it and don't put my feet down until I got into Perth, right through, and still get up and walk. Whereas you get in the car, at the same time you get out at Kogan or Williams, and you get out and you crawl along the side of a car. I don't know what it is, but you seem to have a bit more freedom moving around. I think it is, and
Yeah, and I guess, the thing about you're still making Goldwing, so it's been a successful bike.
It has been a very successful, and it's incredible, I only replaced the battery in 14 years, the original battery, when I sort of still had 80% left in it when I had it tested.
Yeah.
And I put a new battery in it, and the local fella said, I told him this one's 14 years old, and he said, that's remarkable. He said, this one won't last that, and I think it was on its way out when I sold it after 17 years, 3 years,
Yeah. Oh, well, good times.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess what were your favourite things about the club?
Oh, look, I really enjoyed, I enjoyed the fundraising ones we've had over the years. We've got Gary Taylor with his hospice ride.
Yeah.
That's a great one. We've in the years we have done in the past. We had a few years. We haven't done it for a while, but we raised money for breast cancer, and also for prostate cancer. Organised stuff.
Yeah.
The week aways I do like once a year, and overnighters. I think they're great.
Yep.
But really, one of the club members, Bob Boyce, one night, this is way before COVID, said that he was involved with the Platypus Association of Perth, charity club. And he had already been to Vietnam on one or two of these rides with Platypus. Yep. And so he was putting together, like the local people here. And he said at the meeting, who's ever interested, first in, best dressed. Yep. And I immediately, as soon as he finished talking, I said, put Trudy my name down. And so he did. And I came home and told Trudy, and, I didn't know how that was going to go down. Yep. It's hire bikes over there, that sort of thing, charity ride. And she jumped in and said, let's do it. So in November that year, we went with 14 others from Albany, Bob and Chris, and, Gary, Gary Taylor, great, Steve Collins, 14 of us, charity ride, and 3,000. I think we did 3,000 kilometres up to the Chinese border from Hanoi. And that really opened my eyes up. And that sort of led to, I'm not sure if that was before, that must have been after. You asked about the good thing about the club, getting onto rides. One of the other things that did, Trudy and I actually went to America, and we rode Route 66 because some of the members, one or two of them had done it at, odd times. And we thought, and we were coming back from a ride from actually a club ride 2 weeks away up to Coral Bay, Mount Newman and stuff with the club. And I said to Trudy on the way back on the bike, I said, how about we go across the Nullarbor again and go and fill that little gap in we haven't done, in New South Wales. She said, I don't know. She said, we've been across so many times, we've done Tasmania, right around and Alpine. She said, why don't we go and do Route 66? I couldn't believe it. Anyway, the long and short of it, we came home and researched it, and we did it. Yeah. And that was from, met different people from all over the world. Yeah. English speaking and French, South American, Spanish speaking. 2 groups of 14, and we meet up at night time, and we did Route 66, and I don't know, I think it was 14 days or something from Chicago to LA. And that was a great experience. And look, this wouldn't have all happened if I hadn't been a member of a club, I'm sure. Yeah,
certainly.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Well, thanks, Chester.
No worries,
Thanks
Andrew.
for sharing your life with us.
Oh, well, thank you, Andrew. I hope it comes across all right.
Yeah, it does. Very good. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.